young shepherd named David. He was the youngest of 8 brothers and spent most of his days out in the fields watching over sheep. David wasn't a soldier, and he didn't carry a sword or wear armor. But there was one thing David had: faith in God. Now Israel was in trouble. The army of the Philistines, their enemies, had come to fight. The 2 armies stood on opposite hills with a valley between them. And every day a giant named Goliath came out from the Philistine camp. He was over 9 feet tall, wore heavy armor, and carried a massive spear. Goliath roared, "Why do you even come out to fight? Choose one man to fight me. If he wins, we'll be your servants. But if I win, you'll be ours." For 40 days, Goliath came out and mocked the Israelites. And every day, King Saul and his soldiers were terrified. No one dared to fight him. One day, David's father, Jesse, sent him to the battlefield to bring food to his older brothers. When David arrived, he heard Goliath shouting his usual threats. David looked around and asked, "Who is this man that defies the army of the living God?" The soldiers laughed. "You're just a boy. Go back to your sheep." But David wasn't afraid. He had faced danger before. He had fought off lions and bears to protect his sheep, and he believed God had helped him then and would help him now. When King Saul heard about David's courage, he called for him. Saul said, "You can't fight Goliath. You're just a boy." But David replied, "The Lord who rescued me from the lion and the bear will rescue me from this giant too." Saul finally agreed and offered David his own armor, but it was too big and heavy. David took it off and chose instead 5 smooth stones from a stream. With only his sling in hand, he stepped into the valley. Goliath laughed when he saw him. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" But David stood tall and said, "You come with a sword and spear, but I come in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today God will give me victory over you." Then David ran toward the giant. He reached into his pouch, pulled out a stone, placed it in his sling, and swung it around. The stone hit Goliath right in the forehead. The giant stumbled and fell flat on the ground. David had won, not with a sword, but with faith. When the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they ran away in fear, and the Israelites chased after them in victory. David became a hero that day, but more importantly, he showed everyone that you don't have to be the biggest, the strongest, or the most experienced to do something great for God. What mattered most was David's faith. He trusted that God would help him, even when everyone else was afraid. So what can we learn from David's story? Sometimes we face our own giants, things that scare us, make us feel small, or seem impossible. But just like David, we can remember that God is bigger than any challenge we face. When we trust Him, we don't have to be afraid, because with God on our side, even the smallest person can do something amazing. Thanks for watching. Remember, you don't need to be a giant to do great things. You just need faith.